Hey there everyone, it's Val, and welcome back to Pathfinder, The Labors of Valentine. In today's end of the day tour, well, I don't have quite as much to show you as I'd hoped. We didn't really get a lot done in the quests. We got a little bit done. I've been doing some mining. I made myself a hammer. I was looking for some dimensional ore, but I didn't have much luck finding it. So I'm going to have to hunt for more, because we need 256 for the next quest that I would like to do. And actually, let me find it here. Where is it? The book. Oh, and you might notice I have a dev null. If you're not familiar with that, what you do is you shift right click in the air to open it, and you can put something in it. And then what that does is the items of that type are tossed away, and you don't have to worry about cluttering your inventory with them. So obviously for something like cobble or dirt or sand, maybe not so much sand, but it's very useful. I don't tend to use it very often unless I know that I can get cobble fairly easily, for building and whatnot. And in this case I can get it very easily because we have transmutation table. And there's a little story associated with that transmutation table. I really shouldn't have it yet. There was a glitch with the scripts. If you look at the transmutation table in the list, it is very, very expensive. Well, occasionally the scripts fail to load, and I thought that was fixed. I was under the impression the version that I was running had that problem fixed, and even though earlier in the day I had been diligent in checking a recipe to make sure that the scripts were loaded, the one I was checking was this one, the matter transmitter, because if it's not made out of wood, then you know that you've not got the scripts loaded. Well, I was diligent about that earlier in the day, but we had a few crashes, and at the end of the day, yesterday, when I said, the last time I checked to see if I could make the transmutation table, I didn't have what I needed. It's been a while, maybe we do now. So I checked, and it took obsidian and stone and a philosopher's stone. And I went, well, I have all those things now. I will have to go get some obsidian. So I ran off and I collected some obsidian, and I made myself my first transmutation table. And then I dumped a lot of stuff in there because, well, that's what you do with it. And then somebody in the stream today asked, Val, how do you have your transmutation table so early? And I said, well, the recipe's not that bad. You need a few things. And then I looked at the recipe and I was like going, oh crap, that's not the same recipe. I swear that's not the same recipe. And someone went back in my stream from yesterday and checked, and yeah, in fact, it's not the same recipe. So I've decided to keep it because I didn't intentionally create it using the wrong recipe. But strictly speaking, I shouldn't have it yet. So some of the stuff that I now have due to it, I really shouldn't have yet. So yeah, but I do. So so just be aware of that. There apparently still is a problem with the scripts occasionally not loading properly. So you should make a habit of checking that the scripts, look at the matter transmitter, make sure it's made out of wood, to make sure that you have the scripts loaded. And if you don't have it loaded, if it doesn't say that it's made out of wood, then what you need to do is type this in and press enter. And that will reload your scripts for you, and it should fix them. So, alright. So, that said, the things that I made that I really shouldn't have been able to make just yet, I made a swift wolf's rending gale so I can now fly. And I also made the best Klein Star Omega. Now, mind you, I basically spent all my dimensional shards, the EMC value on it, making this. So at some point to do a quest, I might have to turn this back in and settle for a lesser version of this. But since I put them all in here, I can downgrade anytime I feel that, you know, I actually need to spend the money, spend the EMC on something else. But I'm hoping that won't happen, and in order to help facilitate that not happening, I created a world with an emerald ore dimlet. So we have tendrils of emerald ore in this world, and where is my... oh, here it is. We created a number of worlds today. We actually... that is fluid time sand, and that's apparently a really nice one to get, and I didn't know it at the time. Except Gideon said, hey, wow, that's really cool. Since Gideon is the lead on the mod pack, I was like, I'll take your word for it. Also collected some molten ardate, so I'm going to upgrade my picks and whatnot later. So even though they're made out of fantastic Valium, unfortunately they cannot mine anything past obsidian, so I will have to upgrade. I won't have the purple anymore. That's sad. Alright, I also put in elevators. And we have a guest. He was a resident in one of the worlds I created. One of the random things happened. We got some iron golems spawning, and villagers. Not in villages, just spawning out in the wild. He was the very first one I ran across, and as soon as I saw what he had for sale, I brought him home. And I traded him some emeralds to open up what he was able to sell. Curry rice, so we have quite supreme pizza, very nice. Beef Wellington, rainbow curry. And unfortunately, at this point, I couldn't keep... this may have been his last trade, but I don't know. Because you can't stack raw pork chops past 16. And putting 16 here and 1 here did not work. So, I'm going to mention that to the Phoenix team. I don't know if there's anything they can do about that, though. I think it may just be a... something we have to live with. But the reason I mention it is because, well, in this case for pork chops it's not that important. If you do want to do villager trading, there may be other things. Like, for example, they may want 33 coal for something, and you can't put them above a stack of 32. So, yeah, obviously there's villager code that doesn't take into account the new stack sizes. But, anyway. So, he's living here now with me, so that's pretty cool. Or she, I'm not quite sure. Looks kind of like a he to me, but I don't like to inquire too closely upon these things. So, what did we do today? We made, in case you're wondering, we have some patron worlds that I've made for people who have generously contributed to keeping Vals streaming. And I really appreciate what they've done. And as a small token of my appreciation, I've created random worlds for them, and we've gone in and explored them. So, there's Dehasnan, there is Putsaru, and Robert. WSF are the ones that we've done so far, and we had a lot of fun with those. They were all very different worlds, and yeah, it was actually for Robert's world that I was forced to make the Swift Wolf's Rending Gale, because it was a void world, so in order to explore it, we needed to be able to fly. So, anyway. Emmy Time, that's the one I created with tendrils of emerald ore, and it also... what else did I put in there? I'm trying to remember. It was emerald ore and... ferrous ore. Orbs of ferrous ore. Now, I ended up making another world called a Temporal Quartz world, because I got really lucky and I got a temporal quartz, or a temporal ore dimlet. And I wanted to have a world where I could mine it. So I went ahead and I mined up an ore, so we have lots of temporal ore for clockwork, which is actually the area that we are working on in the quest book. And so I'll just go here. So we are working on this one. And that's the one that we stopped at. I'm hoping that some of these will actually get into the temporal stuff, or something will open up that requires the temporal ore, so I kind of collected it ahead of time. That was one ore, by the way. Just trying to think. Is there anything else that we did that was really should show you? I can't think of anything, can you? He's thinking. No, okay. Right, so I think that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed today's tour. And I'd like to apologize for not getting last night's end of the day tour published this morning. I ended up not having time this morning to do that, so I will be posting 2 end of the day tours, one right after the other, hopefully tomorrow morning, unless something occurs and messes that up. But we'll see how that goes. So anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching this tour. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you in the stream sometime. You all take care now. Bye.